Every single person deserves safety. Including trans people. Can you say that again? I'm going to ask you to say that again. Including trans people. Every single person deserves safety, deserves bodily privacy, and deserves dignity, including trans people.
Women are women.
Excuse me?
Trans women are women. Trans women are women. Trans women are women.
So we have some amazing voices here who have been silenced. I actually need you. I need order in order to proceed. We need to be able to listen to each other.
When you guys laugh when we say trans women are women, you're just showing your bigots.
So
we're laughing at the inability to engage in a civil conversation, because if you care about the safety of all women, then you would engage in a dialogue about how we create safe spaces for trans people and NATO people. That is what we want to discuss. Do you want to engage in that, or is it either or?
100 trans women were murdered this year because of the hate that you promote.
I don't know what hate you're speaking about.
1,600 women were murdered last year by male violence. 1,600 women. The issue is not trans people. The issue is safety. How do we protect their privacy, your privacy, my privacy, children's privacy? You cry over all these women. Where are your voices about the 1,600 women who were murdered last year?
So what I'm going to do right now,
Male
we're
violence
going
is
to
the
move
issue.
forward right now, and we are going to have Kaylee Triller-Haber come up here, and she is going to introduce these voices that go beyond borders. And this is an issue that goes beyond every border. Safety is a civil liberty which every single person deserves and has a right to. And we're going to try and, no one has all the answers. But we have to go forward without violating each other. And so we're going to talk about that today. Kaylee, can you please come up?
If you are going to say that hate will not win in our state, then I would strongly suggest that you do not call people names like disgusting. I am not going to address that right now. We will talk about that. But if you are going to say that you believe in equality and diversity, that means that you are going to have to get used to the idea that people might think differently than you. And if they do, you can listen. Because if you want us to listen to you, then you will listen to us. Because you know what? So if hate's not going to win, then you're going to need to listen up. Because this is a real issue for a lot of women across the country.
Zero incidents.
Go on Google and do research, says the teacher.
For the first 10 years of my life, I was sexually abused. And my abuser liked to stand there and watch me in the shower and laugh.
I was sexually assaulted too. Stop scapegoating trans women.
1 in 4 children are sexually abused or no drug people in their own family.
Literally by men.
Wasn't by a trans person, no.
And when I did not give in to my abuser's demands, he would cry crocodile tears and say, "You don't love me anymore." And what you are doing with this rhetoric is the same message that many girls and women have received their entire lives. If you do not give me what I want, you are hateful. If you do not give me and kowtow to my demands and compromise your own personal boundaries, then you are hateful.
No. When you discriminate against specific group of people,
No.
that is hateful.
As somebody who did not have a choice about who saw me in the shower,
It was a man, not a woman.
it was a man. And guess what? Those same men that you're trying to avoid can now follow you into the bathroom. 68% of sexual abuse survivors will never speak about it. 2 out of every 100 rapists will spend a single day in jail. Women have been taught to speak up and to name their own boundaries and to be unapologetic. And if we're going to say that we believe in my body, my choice, then I sure as hell should have a choice about who gets to see it when I shower. That the first time my daughter sees a naked male form is because she has chosen it, not because somebody else has bullied their way into her locker room without giving her a chance. When I was diagnosed with PTSD, I rejected the diagnosis because I did not think that I had a right to claim it. I thought that maybe I had to go to war and be a combat veteran. Well, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? I do not have to allow a male with a naked body into my personal space in order to be loved. So maybe we'll get I think you guys have just given everybody here a really clear picture about what discrimination actually looks like. Because if you are in a war and you are a combat veteran, we do not shove those veterans right into a fireworks show and say, get over it. Women like me, who have been traumatized by adult naked males.
Stop scapegoating trans women!
How about the trans women who feel violence every year?
We're not even a fraction of the population, 100 murders. Because of
the 20 million Americans who have already experienced, attempted, or completed rape, 17 million of them are innocent.
How many of those rape
This rhetoric is hateful.
Do you have that number?
On that, women have been bulldozed enough, and I will not be bulldozed by you, and nor will these women. And they have earned the right to speak.
In order to go forward,
Apparently they don't believe in free speech.
bigotry to go back to the grave.
And this is the message that women have been given their entire lives.
You're right.
Take what you want by force and get used to it. Well, we're not getting used to it.
We don't have to
So you will be getting used to us. You will be getting used to us speaking out about
We
it.
don't ask for tolerance, we ask for the right to exist.
Where were you when Jackie got shot by police?
So, on that note, I will be announcing.
Where were you when Jackie got shot by police?
What happened to free speech?
So did I. Where are you?
You aren't giving them the right to free speech. You aren't giving right. Don't we all say her piece without being
How
interrupted?
compassionate is it? How is it loving to insist that little girls open up their showers at the gym to people who have penises?
How is it loving to force your terrible thoughts on the rest
I don't know. It sounds to me like nobody in this room has actually read Initiative
happening,
1550.
or are you pulling this out of your ass?
Jeez, what impeccable rhetoric.
I am so ready now for Maya to speak up here because she's a strong woman who has been a champion of civil rights.
Where were you when Jackie
I am just really fascinated by the inability of people who want to find solution to engage in civil dialogue and democracy. And I think there's completely a place for civil disobedience. But yes, but everybody deserves civility.
Be careful because we may
Everyone
not be civil to you.
deserves civility.
civility is hate.
The KKK 15.
All of this is incredibly
Your campaign
interesting.
encourages
I love it. I've never shied away from a good battle, so let's just jump right in.
Okay.
So it's an interesting scenario when a sexual assault survivor is labeled a bigot because she wants personal safety for herself. And it's discriminatory when trans women think that their rights supersede everybody else's. And there is, what people have been saying is, what about safety for everybody? Are you all interested in having a conversation about safety for everybody? Because this isn't even about trans people, right? This is about when we are in bathrooms, how do we create
Trans women are
for
women!
NATO women, for trans people, for men?
I am a NATO woman
Right?
and trans woman.
And so the interesting thing is there are lots of proposals around the country to deal with bathrooms, okay? But there are interesting underlying things that relate to gender-specific laws that we haven't even begun to scratch the surface on. And it's interesting when women come to the table and say, we are interested in finding solutions that work for trans women and NATO women, and trans women, as demonstrated with their allies here, beat up on NATO women. How does that work in a power dynamic? How does that work in a power dynamic? Because what we are only asking is civility. Now, the ACLU is on the side of the KKK. I ran the ACLU. And the reality is this, our Constitution affords to each of us, I don't care what you think, the right to free speech, and the government may not interfere. And that is a principle that has been. In this instance, what is also true is this. We have gender-specific laws that protect women because it recognizes the biological difference between men and women. And the question about bathroom safety is not only about trans safety, it's about the safety of all people. Trans people, men, male women, and children. And so, instead of railroading laws that don't properly look at how we protect the rights of all people, many folks have said, why aren't we engaging in a civil discourse to at least unearth the multitude of safety issues that confront people that use the bathroom? Because if what I'm hearing from trans allies and advocates is that the safety of trans people is paramount to the safety of everybody else, that's discriminatory.
No,
it's discriminatory. And if you want to talk about violence, happy to do that, right? There are high rates of violence against trans people.
Thank you.
There are high rates of violence against women and girls perpetrated by males. And if what you want to say is that trans people are worse off than NATO women, that doesn't seem to be sisterly. It doesn't seem to advance this notion. No, it's not true. Because, let me say this, just so that you're really clear, because everybody in here seems to be a statistician, and last I checked, unless somebody raises their hand and tell me I'm a statistician, I'm right here. That would be me. So let me tell you, when I hear statements like there's never been any instance of anything, that's not accurate. Producer report to me that shows that someone sat and went through every police crime report, every police jurisdiction to come up with a talking point that says nobody's ever. Anytime you use always, never, those are absolutism terms, and even in statistics there's a 5% degree of error. So nothing about any of these stats are accurate. And statistics is an art, it's not a science. So don't start spouting the stats and trying to create a situation where what you're trying to articulate is that trans women are more victimized than other women. Because that is not, it certainly has been asserted in this room.
How is that for you?
It has certainly been asserted in the group, right? Oh, no. But that's not even the point. The point is still this, that what you want to do is begin to start parsing out the stats that trans women are more at risk than traditional women. And the reality is, if we're all women, we are all vulnerable. And so how do we protect all of us? What protection?
The Human Rights Commission has laid out and has operated on for 10 years.
And so then the question becomes, what about the rights of the other women too?
They still exist. They're still completely.
Where are they?
No one is allowed to
Where are
sell
they?
sex.
Where are they?
No one is allowed
Where are
to
they?
sell sex.
Where are they?
They're right on the books. If you go and
And
get
so
a
this question, and I have to just say, I'm not familiar with the law of human rights. And so I can't speak to that. What I'm talking about is broader, what we have been talking about are the broader implications in the civil rights and the Constitution. What I'm saying to you is, there are bathroom bills circulating all across the country.
And they're terrible.
And they vary.
And they're all wrong.
And the question is, how do we, and I've not said that they're right.
Answer his question.
I haven't said that they're right. There's
one incident.
What do you mean one incident? One incident? What incident
Where
are
a
you
trans
talking about?
person violated a woman in a bathroom.
What one incident? Because there are lots of incidents. Let me just say, I'm not going to argue with you about statistics. What I'm saying to you,
You're making false claims.
not at all. Not at all. What I'm saying to you is this, that there is violence against trans women and there is violence against NATO women. And the question is, how do we create safety for us? Because the way that the bills are currently constructed, they allow
Genital development is so complicated.
and we can get down to that if you want to, but that's not even what we're talking about, dear. That's not what we're talking about, love. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is how to create bathroom safety. Do you want to talk about bathroom safety? I'm happy to talk about that. But that's a question that America would like to know. How does that happen? What's the criteria? Everybody wants to know. Answer the question. How do you know? How do you not know?
That's the point. That's why you don't introduce discriminatory legislation.
And no one's interested in discriminatory legislation, right? I'm interested in having a conversation, a civil conversation about bathroom safety. It's about bathroom safety. Are you all suggesting that NATO women and girls are not at risk in bathrooms? Is that what's being suggested?
No, but this is ridiculous. This is a complete sham.
It is not. Because are you saying that NATO women are not at risk in bathrooms too?
And so are we.
Because I'm saying the risk exists for everybody.
Yeah, and trans
The risk
women
exists
are
for
victims
everybody.
of regular male violence.
And so are women. And so are women. And so we're saying,
protected.
so what
People
we're
who are
saying,
identified
nobody
as
said they should not be protected. What they said
If
is,
they're
how do we
identified as
protect
women,
everybody?
we're not trying to
Are
go
you
in
interested in
there.
listening or not?
I
You got to talk. They sound really good. They sound really good. But it doesn't sound like you're listening. It sounds like you have an agenda and you got a point. But you don't have a point. Because the point is this, that women are both, women are all vulnerable. So how do we create,
allowed to go into a
how do we create safety?
We create safety by allowing people to go to the bathroom.
Okay, so let me ask this question. Let me
It?
ask this question. So, your interest is ensuring that trans people have
No, my
access to
interest is
bathrooms.
ensuring that there isn't discriminatory legislation.
Awesome, and I think that that's great. We are too. And so then what I'm saying is, from a safety standpoint, if you're interested in the safety of trans women and NATO women and girls, then tell me this. So if you have a overbroad piece of legislation that says anybody, no criteria, can go into a ladies' restroom, how does that create safety? You ready? Because it does not provide any criteria to determine over your point. But you got all the answers, so then I'm saying, so the law allows for anybody to go into a restroom. So this is not about trans people, and it's not about implying. No, you all made it, because what we want to talk about is bathroom safety for everybody. But if you've been listening, you would have known that.
I am listening.
Okay.
But you would have known that. That's great. We got your good talking points.
You're resigning.
Not at all, because you're quiet.
I'm not. I can keep talking. I can keep going.
But not with any substance.
Maya.
Not with any substance, love. What's your name? Would you like to
You
go back?
left the group of working for actual civil liberties to work for this bullshit?
Oh no, what I did was I stimulated a national dialogue about the rights of women and girls. That's what we do. That's what I do. That's what I do. I'm all Brooklyn, I'm from Oakland. Go check the
Okay, I'm
record.
from the fucking hilltop.
Yeah, I don't know about Hilltop.
You
But
don't?
I know about town business. I know about town business.
You don't know about the Hilltop,
You
but it's
know
not
about
just
it.
me.
But what I'll say is this. We came here for a civil conversation. And we love to engage.
Okay, so next time we do this,
Since we got here, were you not heckling from the top?
I wasn't heckling.
Yeah.
I was talking
Can you
loud.
do?
I asked if you
But
support
it's
the
civil.
KKK. That's all I asked.
You just physically threatened her. How is that?
I didn't physically threaten her. I did not physically threaten her. I said we can step outside and talk.
So are we all clear that there's no criteria?
You and I can also step inside and talk.
Yeah, he was actually on your side.
Who's been waiting?
Yeah, he was on your side.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That's real cute.
I can't hear him. I'm sorry.
Real cute.
We're gonna have sister speaking back.
I'm keeping a sister. I'm sorry.
Behind you.
Tina's saying that anyone can use any restroom, is that what you're saying?
So just for the record, what I was interested in talking about, and I'm glad that we got all the yelling and screaming out, and maybe we can have a civil conversation.
You have a microphone, so we're just trying to match your level. Step from the microphone and we can have a quieter conversation.
Oh, no, dear.
Okay, then we're going to keep matching your level.
Do you? That's all you can do. But the point is this, is that the points that I'm making are really about representing the rights and interests of women and girls too. This is not entrepreneurial. It's not. Oh, you didn't read the newsletter? I'm out of a job, so I'm actually doing this because it really matters. I'm not doing it. I'm doing it because I'm a woman. I'm doing it because I got love. From a place of concern for all of us. All of us. So this, what I was hoping to talk about before it was all heckled was about the safety of all people. So, now that I'm done, because I know that you have a question about 1550, and I think Angela should discuss that because that is it.